Good anytime, my Fuzzyites, and welcome to a quick review of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. A fun RPG adventure starring Mario. One of the first, if not the first ever RPGs to involve Mario. Making it very fun. It's good, the story is great, you get a lot of characters, it's turn-based RPG, so if that's stuff you're looking for, you know, it's a lot of fun. You get to know the characters a little more, some of them. It looks good, you fight a lot of unique characters that I have never seen before or after this game. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, good design, the world was nice. But let's get more into it. Basically, if you're interested in the game, you know, I highly recommend it. And they even have the remake, which changes a few things up. So, you know, at your own risk, I guess. Or not risk, but the remake is also out. At this time, I haven't played it, but it's another way to experience the game with some things they added in to make it easier. But this is the, of course, the SNES original. And it is good. I recommend it. But starting off where we usually start off, or I should usually start off with, is the story. So, as the story starts, as it usually does for Mario, Mario is going to Bowser's castle to confront Bowser in order to get Princess Peach back. While fighting Bowser, winning, and almost getting Peach back, a giant sword slams into the castle, sending him flying, and he loses Princess Peach. As he tries to get back into the castle, to get back to Princess Peach, and save her, the sword basically says, yeah, no, you're not doing that. This is my castle now. Leave. As you get forced back, and you go on your merry way. Coming across the Toad Town, where I think it's the Mushroom Kingdom area, if I'm not mistaken. Where talk to the king about what's going on and whatnot. And then a guy comes in who robs one of the townsfolk, or a bunch of the townsfolk. So you go after this shady crocodile bandit guy. Beating him, getting the stuff back, you find Mallow, who joins your team, the first character. As you go back to the castle, it's being attacked by a mysterious, what seems to be like Shy Guy Pogo Stick army, who you find out are part of the Smithy Gang. Which, later on, you find out, if not right now, Smithy is the character who has invaded this world from a whole different world in order to take it over. And to do so, they went through the Star Road. I think it's called the Star Road. Broke it into 7 pieces, hence 7 stars. And, yeah. You have to go across the land, meeting new people to repair the Star Road, stop Smithy and his gang, go into their world, defeat Smithy and end the Reign of Terror, and save the whole world, while saving all the inhabitants and saving the stars and whatnot. And overall, it's a good story. You kind of just go. It is a very quick paced story where you start in an area, you start in the castle, and then you go through into a smaller town and into a forest. Yada yada yada. We'll get to that when I talk about the settings and whatnot. But as for a story, it's good. One of the stars of the whole show is Geno, another newcomer besides Mallow, who is a being from the Star Road, or of the Star Road. Some weird thing like that. Who comes down to help you get the stars back and whatnot. So all in all, for the story, it's really good. There's a lot of characters you talk to progress it. You meet a lot of the people who are helping Smithy, and you kind of see how their ranks work and what they want and what they're doing here, as well as talk to people in the town, and they'll have their own individual crisis or things going on. Like Booster Tower, he kidnapped Mario or Peach, so you have to go up and get him. There's a mine that collapsed, so you have to go through the mine. Like I said before, one of the first things you come across or after you leave Princess Peach's castle area is a forest, or is a town being attacked by someone from the forest. You go in the forest and you find one of Smithy's people there, who are shooting paralyzing arrows at the town. And yeah, you get a lot of characters, a lot of good stuff. It's a good story, a hearty story. Enough to keep you going. It is not like a lot of RPGs where it's just magic and mystery and a million years ago this was going on. And then this is going on. Oh, but this magic spell came through, so that's what's causing this. And there's different types of magic and whatnot to keep track of. It's very nice and complete. The basic story that all you have to worry about is X people are bad. You're trying to get Y item. Go forth. Which a lot of the Mario RPGs do a good job at. It's not overly complicated, but it's a good story with good characters, as we will talk about right now with said characters. So, in the story, being an RPG with group people, as a lot of RPGs do, you get people on your team. The first person on your team being Mallow, who is kind of a shy, clumsy person who makes it rain when he cries, who believes he is a frog at first. You find out later that he is not. And you do find his home later on. All in all, for him, he's a nice, classic character. He's clumsy, but he means well, and he wants to do his best and eventually find his family. And then the next person you meet is Geno, who, like I said, is a member of the is part of the Stars and the Star Road, who comes down to take the form of a doll of Geno. So I guess in this world, Geno is a big character that kids compare with Mario. So he takes over Geno, takes the name Geno, in order to help Mario and the rest of the crew get the star pieces back, so they can repair the Star Road with all 7 pieces and out of that. And he's nice, he's firm, he's confident, he knows what he's doing, and he goes forth and does it. Next up, you get Bowser, who, besides being the ruthless leader of the Koopa army, and King Koopa himself, you see him really get sad at points. He really cares about his men and trying to do best by them. This game does what a lot of the RPGs do, is really make him less of like a one-note tyrant who just wants to kidnap Princess Peach, which he does, into a character who, he has a soft spot. He will cry. He cares about his men and just wants what's best for them, and will let them do what they're doing elsewhere, and be like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's good. You can go. So he's a very caring leader and whatnot. So, and I like it. I like Bowser being very tough, brutal, but he does care about his men, and he will fight and protect them if possible and when possible. Which I like leaders like that in video games or any movie like that. One that will not hesitate to stop, or will not hesitate to help their own men up and allow their men to do other things if they're not up for fighting. It's just a good thing to have, and Bowser really encapsulates it, and it's very nice, as always. And the last member of your group you get is Princess Peach, who is Princess Peach. She wants to help with the adventure. I can't remember much else about her personality besides being the princess and having to sneak away and not get caught as she runs for it. But, yeah. But all in all, good character, Princess Peach. Not much away from how she normally is predicted, but she is powerful and has healing magic and whatnot, which is really good. All in all, with all these characters, there are other characters that you meet in it that are good. Can I remember names? There's the bow guy who just wants to do well with his arrows. There's a James Blastons or James Bond copycat who wants to defeat Mario to become a big person himself and gain recognition, as well as, I think, maybe it's only in the remake, join Bowser's minions to help Bowser out. You have Davy Jones, if that is his name, a shark pirate guy who has a lot of honor in fighting and whatnot. and he views staying by your warden, everything, and a whole bunch of other characters. All of them good, driving it forward with good, strong characters for what they do or believe in or want that make them stand out. So it's really good and adorable all the way across. So good characters, strong characters that keep the story going and add a little personality to all the worlds, whether it be because of the bosses or the toads in town, whether it be the people actually trying to do damage like Smithy, or people who are just living their life and it just so happens to interfere with you, like Booster trying to marry Princess Peach. All in all, really good characters, but what would these characters be without the places they live in? And the places are really nice, they're varied. You start off, like I said, going into Bowser's Castle, which is very castle-esque themed, getting kicked out, and then having to traverse Plains area into Princess Peach's castle. You eventually going down in no particular order, kind of go into a bunch of towns that are all uniquely designed and whatnot, some with features like a church. You have hills, you have canyons where you have to jump on rocks, you have a tower which is just going up vertically. Yeah. You have an ocean area where you go into the ocean, volcano area. There's no, not really an airship. There's a city in the... Yeah, there's like a desert area. A lot of areas, very varied. It goes all throughout the regular, like, Mario aesthetic. All but ice. Is there an ice place? No, I don't think there's an Iceland, which is weird. Because you always have the juxtaposition of like a desert area and an ice area. Whether it be an actual like icy mountain or an icy place or something like that. Because yeah, it's one of the things. You always have a forest, you always have a water area. Whether it be in water or on an island and whatnot, but there's a lot of water. Sewer area, there's even a sewer area in this one. Anyways, but yeah, the areas are varied, they're nice. Most of the areas I could probably see and tell you where it is. But yeah, they're nicely designed, they look nice, they have their own unique things going on. It is very nice. Nice. It is very pleasant to look at and pleasant to maneuver around. No area is too big where it feels like it takes forever to get from one area to another. There's always multiple different paths to take, but most of the time the different paths just lead you to special things like items or money or whatever. Yeah, it is good, really well done. But what would the full experience be with having those places, enemies, and whatnot? Without the one thing that brings it all together, the gameplay. I know what I'm doing. And the gameplay, outside of combat, you kind of move around, you can jump over things, you hit enemies to get into combat, you can knock certain blocks to get coins or items and whatnot, you can talk to people to, and get information. In combat, you choose from a variety of different options. Every character has an attack, which if you press the attack button again at certain frames of said attack when it lands, it'll do a better, more devastating attack, critical hit, basically. And then... Besides that, what is there besides that? He's got the attacks. Oh, there are also special attacks, which also have commands. If you press at the right time, you can do it. And also dodging or blocking. If you hit at the right time, you can take less damage. Sometimes. And every spell is different. Sometimes it's as simple as Mario jumping on an enemy, to Bowser summoning in a giant robot to flatten people, to Geno using a beam to knock him out, to Mallow causing a thunderstorm or rain or whatnot. And Peach using different magical attacks or healing attacks to heal everyone or an individual person, or even like take away statuses. So yeah, it's your classic RPG aesthetic. Main attack, special attacks. Special attacks usually do better, but you have certain flower power in this case, I believe it's called. In place, if you have no flower power, you can't use the thing. Or if you don't have enough flower power, you can't use the special. And it's really good. It all adds together. So, it all adds together in a good conclusion of a great story that feels good to go through. It feels like you're progressing, leveling up in order to do more damage, / pick which, if you want to update your attack. What was it? Attack, special attack, or health, I think? Yeah, I believe so. Or is it attack, defense, or... Anyways, yeah. With the beautiful scenery, the good characters, and whatnot, it is a good story from start to finish. Really fun to run through and just see the world, see where it takes you, where you have to go for the star things, the enemies, the bosses. All of it are really solid. I highly recommend playing it. It is a great RPG that doesn't really take too long. It's easy to understand where you're going because it's really just a straight line most of the time. But it makes for a great time. But either way, I guess I'll leave this here. Highly recommend the game. It is good for in all categories. So, thank you my Fuzzies for watching, and I will see you next anytime. Take care.